West. Whole groups of people under duress. Nobody knows what planet they're on.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Porthole to Justice, the window to the truth. This is Amelia Duran, your host. It is September, I think it's the 13th, 2020. And I'm here with activists Laz and Ecenarro. And that's live music, original music by Zach Daniel and Trish Daniel on vocals. All right. Welcome. Oh, I just turned it down. Welcome to the podcast, Laz.
Thank you.
So much going on in the truth community, and Facebook is imposing huge regulations and censorship, basically shutting down any narrative that doesn't go along with their desired outcome or their agenda online. And you've been hugely censored recently.
I was, and I actually think everybody's being censored, anybody that's conservative or for Trump or exposing pedophilia.
Online.
That's correct.
Online. And while the pedophilia is thriving, not just on social media, also in mainstream media, on networks like Netflix that are accessed by the masses, things of that nature.
Yeah, and the schools too. So we can't. The learning institutions have been infiltrated by a lot of pedophiles, and as you see them being played out and showing their demonic, wicked ways regarding pedophilia. And I think that the American people need to stand up for the sake of their children and their grandchildren.
Yeah, so we've been seeing like so many people mocked in the truth community and labeled as conspiracy theorists for so long, which is actually a term that was infiltrated the masses by way of the CIA, and it was a way to sort of deflate or discredit the truth community or people actually speaking the truth that had the wherewithal and the knowledge and the intelligence to discern, credible statements and facts that were going on. And somehow this has been interpreted as conspiracy has somehow obtained a label of automatically being discredited. Would you not agree?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, they got to get the trolls to come after us and to try to censor us and silence us at any capacity or make you look like a loony. But at the end of the day, the truth will always prevail. It's like they always say: if you shine the light on roaches and rats, they'll run. And we're seeing now the lights the light shine on these criminals. I call them criminals, and as more we start exposing who they are, and they've put names to these faces. More Americans, God-loving Americans, especially those families that are fighting for their children, are aware of these criminals and the criminal activity. So all this is nothing new. It's all been planned and orchestrated. These criminals are well-funded, and they receive a lot of money. And they're involved with the courts, with the judges, with the lawyers, the politicians, the lobbyists. So it's all about money and trying to destroy families. And obviously their main goal is to destroy the republic in their wicked ways. And it's a spiritual warfare with these Satanists.
And the late Senator Nancy Schaefer, she mentioned in her speech on YouTube and before Congress that, they had to destroy the family unit before the New World Order could succeed.
That's correct. And she stated it and made it vocal that you cannot reform DHS or CPS because it's already been so heavily eroding from the core that you can't save it. Once the cancer's there, it and has gone spread through the entire body. There's no return. So in order to destroy CPS is by literally financially crippling them under Title II and Title IV of the E&D of the Family and Adoption and Incentive Act. In addition, removing it from Social Security. One of the biggest things, like when I was in Oklahoma and doing the whole research in Oklahoma, I always say follow the money. Well, the money didn't deceive anyone. It was all written there by the 57th legislators in Oklahoma with a Republican senator of all people, Stitt, Kevin J. Stitt, the governor, signed off $2 billion that DHS has in their disposal, in their arsenal. In addition to, let's say, 22%, the judges get 22% into their 401k. Well, how many God-loving Americans out there that have a career, a job, get 22% in their 401k, and all the proceeds and everything is going through Wall Street and Main Street, and all, so this is a big money laundering that's happening at the expense of the children and the families that they're destroying. That's why DHS is big there. And in addition to that, they got 547 vehicles. 547 brand new vehicles what DHS has in their arsenal for this fiscal year. And not in addition to the 401k, they get travel reimbursements. So wherever they go, the courthouse or DHS, they're getting money for travel reimbursements. So it's insanity.
And Arizona is being known as a hotbed for human trafficking and organ harvesting. But not only that, DHS and Child Protective, Department of Homeland Security and Child Protective Services corruption is huge there, as well as gang stalking and targeting. Epidemic crime levels in Arizona have been documented, and it's these people like to laugh at us and call us a conspiracy theorist or paranoid, or question our God-given sanity by calling them out and exposing these tactics. And the thing is they are so arrogant that they were recently, several social workers were recently caught wearing T-shirts saying professional kidnapper. This is documented online, folks. Like, I don't have to like constantly post links, and this is out there publicly. There's news articles, public news, archived public news articles on these issues. These social workers took a group photo of themselves wearing T-shirts saying professional kidnappers. Now, there's also freelance social workers online on social media that target parents and foster kids that are winning their cases in the system. And what happens is when these people go on live and they try to give testimony of what's happening to them in the courts and the corruption, these gang stalkers are given access to their court documents, and they're published publicly, intentionally, to cause obstruction of justice on their case. And we're called conspiracy theorists for pointing this out.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Let me touch on a couple things you touched on regarding the gang stalking. That's all created by the Amazon, Microsoft, all Melinda and Bill Gates down in the state of Washington. I actually went to the facility. It's called Security Industry Specialist, and they do a lot of the gang stalking. That's where they get a lot of the people hired, and they also use former military servicemen and women in these gang stalkings. This is well known. I went to their facility down in Seattle, Washington, so I was able to expose them at their hub. In addition to that, you're wrong. You're right. You're right regarding what they're working with the judges and the district attorneys, and then it demonstrates why George Soros himself have a financial gain in hiring all these or giving campaign contributions to the district attorneys and to the judges, because he has them in their pocket. So we know he's involved with the Clintons and the Chelsea Foundation and the Clinton Global Initiative and the Rockefeller Foundation, the Rothschild Foundation, the Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation. We know these are 501(c)(3)s. The same criminals that they're in bed with, the 501(c)(3)s, are the same criminals that are in bed with the SIS, which is, again, let me reiterate, it's Security Industry Specialist located in Seattle, Washington, and then one in New York. They run hand in hand. It's a criminal mafia that have infiltrated every aspect of the courthouse. Well, not just the courthouse, but all three branches of government, which is the executive, legislative, and judicial branch. And until the American people decide to follow the money, you will start realizing that what's happening in Oklahoma and what's happening in Arizona regarding the predators. And matter of fact, now in Oklahoma, now we understand why certain DAs are now going after prosecuting predators or pedophiles, is because they're also in bed in this pedophilia. I mean, I'm talking about DAs, district attorneys.
We talk about pedophilia like that's the end-all, be-all of these crimes against humanity, because the predatory targeting also involves targeting for the objective of human trafficking, and it's men, women, and children. The majority of men are targeted for their assets and for organ harvesting. Children, the judges know that the masses of the children, the majority of the children are targeted because to unleash these demons on our society. Not only that, they want their children to be protected and healthy because they're being groomed for future leadership.
Oh, that's correct. This is a cancer. And in order to extract this cancer, and the only way is to make an example out of a couple of them lawfully. Well, I mean lawfully within the Constitution. And holding these criminals accountable for at least a minimum of treason, and hang them by their necks and their testicles, and put it on national TV, because it's the only way you're gonna basically stop this sick, wicked, demonic situation, pedophilia. Pedophilia should not be allowed in any culture, in any religion.
Any civilized society, knows throughout history that there's been huge consequences on humanity regarding these crimes against the innocent.